Anthony Slater here in the peak with Erik Horne, and we're sitting here after a somewhat shocking Thunder loss. You know, they were really up most of the game. Where this game fell apart, it was 103-98 was the final Raptors over the Thunder, but where this game to me fell apart was at the end of halves. The Thunder was up 8 with 5 minutes left in the first half. They go into halftime down 1. They were up 8 again with 5 minutes left in the game, and they lose by 5. That's 10 minutes and a minus 22. What happened late in the game, particularly?
Well, late in the game, that key stretch, that 5 minutes and 13 seconds, Durant hit their last shot from the field, and from there they pretty much went cold.
0-6, didn't make a shot in the final 6-13.
Yeah, and another thing that was big for the Thunder throughout the game, not just in the late in the fourth quarter, was the free throws. I mean, they put Toronto on the line way too many times. I think Toronto got to the line 39 times in total. DeMar DeRozan ended up with a game-high 28 points, and 14 of those came from the line. He took more free throws than the Thunder.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Thunder didn't take, and that's another issue. Like, we're talking about Westbrook and Durant, who are two historically, you know, prolific free throw shooters. You know, I think both of them have been right up in the top 5 in the league leaders, you know, for much of the past few seasons. And it's not even just tonight. They're not taking that many free throws lately. And another trend, I know you wrote about it a little bit in your recap, but this team is turning the ball over a lot. I mean, turnovers happen in the NBA, but when you're up around 20 every night, that's a problem.
No, 19 or more turnovers in every game so far this season.
That's bad.
And you're going to expect it from Russell Westbrook to have a high rate of turnovers, or lead the league in that range. But he had 16 assists tonight, and it's marred by 8 turnovers. And it's not just him; it's a team effort.
Yeah. The Westbrook ones happen, and you know, 8's maybe a little bit too much, but you know he's probably going to be around 4 or 5. But it's just off the other ones, and you know, the ones that kill me is, like, you know, Kevin Durant had a rebound tonight. He's just
one-handed, left-handed.
He just one-handed, left-handed it up to Westbrook on the transition. Damari Carroll's just like there, and he basically hit Damari Carroll with the pass.
These are kind of like the equivalent of, like, I guess you'd say, tennis unforced errors, like hitting it into the net.
Yeah.
They're not making these turnovers trying to create offense. They're making these turnovers after getting a rebound and trying to get cute.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff you got to eliminate.
And the Raptors aren't making these, you know, the Raptors aren't making crazy steals. It's like, oh, thank you for passing me the ball, basically. So that's an issue they definitely have to get cleaned up. I'm still waiting to see on the Billy Donovan offense. I know a lot of fans are, you know, a little ticked off, and you know, and tonight, especially late in the game, there was a Scott Brooksy feel to what was going on. But you know, I think I'm a little wait and see with that.
Are you wait and see about Anthony Morrow, Kyle Singler?
I'm not. I'm gonna write about this in my observations, but I don't understand it. I mean, Kyle Singler, I understand his package, 6'8", versatile, can guard. You know, he came to the Thunder as a 40% three-point shooter. He hasn't shot well since he's been on the Thunder, and he hasn't really done much of anything. Look at his stats this season. I think he has 0 assists, 5 rebounds, 9 fouls, and 4 turnovers in like 54 minutes and like 6 total points. He just doesn't do much on the court. And I understand Anthony Moore has some defensive deficiencies, but he's a guy that brings energy and makes shots. I mean, he's a shot maker. He has a skill that has helped his team tremendously in 2 years. And I just don't understand how his minutes are being cut for Kyle Singler. Look, I understand Singler as a rotation player in this league somewhere. You know, I understand that, but I just don't understand how he can take away minutes from a guy who has established a skill that is huge for this team.
And it was surprising, because we've seen Morrow come onto the court, and for the short time that he's been on the court, he makes a big shot, or he'll get the crowd excited with a 3 or something like that. And when he came on tonight, later than we expected, he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look like he was in the flow of the offense, and it was pretty obvious by the look on his face and how things were going for him.
Yeah, it's an unused skill, I think, at this point. But we're 5 games in. The Thunder's 3-2. They play Chicago tomorrow night in a national TNT game in Chicago, which should be interesting. And, you know, like I said, 5 games into an 82-game season. But let's go to Billy Donovan and a couple of players and see what they had to say about tonight's loss.
When we got stops and got out on the break, I thought really, really good things happened for us. You know, again, I think trying to create an identity defensively of getting stops, we had some really, really difficult, you know, mismatches. And, you know, for us offensively, you know, right now, I think Steven continues to get better offensively, and I think he'll be a guy in time that we'll be able to throw the ball to as his confidence continues to gain and grow up. And really pleased with his progress and the growth that he's made, you know, through preseason. And then I think, you know, when we did get into the lane, I think what they ended up forcing us to do with the bigger lineup is we threw the ball out to the perimeter. I thought Kevin made a great pass across the floor, you know, got an open three. I thought we had good ball movement there. We just didn't knock it down. But I think the biggest problem was we were getting caught cross-matched where we had some really difficult matchups.
You guys going good and then stagnated the last 5 minutes or so.
Oh, I think it stagnated. We missed shots. You know, we getting downhill, we getting to the paint, we missed shots. Dion missed a nice three, wide open three. I missed a turnaround on the baseline. Russell missed a few layups getting to the rim. I mean, when we make those shots, you just said it's great offense. But, you know, we just, you know, it's a make or miss league, and we missed them, and they made them.
Defensively, what was going so well in that first quarter, and then what led to the fouls later on?
I mean, we're just playing too reckless. We're playing careless on the defensive end. We can't try to get a steal every time. We can't, you know, just be, you know, super physical and to the point where we're just fouling for no reason. You know, that's on everybody. So we can't do that and expect us to be a good defensive team. We made them shoot tough shots. But we bailed them out a lot. You know, we played great defense, and at the end of the possession, we might reach down and get a foul. But it's all correctable stuff. It's not worried at all. You know, it's not like we just can't get a grip on, you know, what's going wrong. But, you know, we turn the ball over and we foul. That's the game.
Did their early double teams throw you guys off at all when they're kind of picking up? Sometimes, you know, near half court.
You know, we didn't play against it. We played against it all, and no, it didn't have no effect. So I think we got whatever we wanted on the offensive end. We just missed shots, and we turned the ball over. You know, it felt like we can't come into a game and just hand the other team the ball. That's basically what we're doing, just handing the ball and putting them on the free throw line. So it's basically we're down 20 points before we even start playing. So it's tough to win that way, no matter who you're playing against. We had this game in the bag. We had the last two games in the bag, you know, but like I said, it's stuff that we can correct.
Part of the evolution you guys are trying to kind of grow with is being a little more dynamic in the fourth quarter, late in games, not just completely look to you to make something happen. Where's the balance at, though? You only got 2 shots in the fourth. You're trying to find open teammates when they double you.
I mean, it's something we got to figure out, you know, something we got to figure out. I like that we're not, you know, as predictable, but we still got to stick to what, you know, what makes us the money, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's on me to be more aggressive, demand, you know, the ball and the huddles, but also, you know, look for my teammates as well. So, yeah, we're still learning this offense, but that can't be an excuse. We got to figure it out at some point.
You talked about Toronto getting to the line too much. You guys, that's what you guys have been doing for years and years, is getting to the line as much as any team in the league. Didn't really happen tonight.
Yeah.
What was there anything there?
We just, you know, we had something in that pick and roll, and we spaced the floor out a lot, and we let, you know, our best player Russell we let him, you know, control the game. He had 16 assists, was getting everybody shots, getting himself shots, made shots, but at the end we just couldn't finish. So we got to, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, your guys that go downhill. You know, we didn't get a lot of, you know, chances to, you know, go down here and get to the free throw line. But, you know, we just got to continue to be aggressive. And I think sometimes we didn't get the, you know, we didn't get the whistle that we wanted, but we just got to keep playing. You know, Russell was aggressive getting to the rim. Sometimes I thought he got fouled, but, you know, that's the name of the game. We just got to move on. But, you know, we just all got to be aggressive.
You laid out some things specifically that you guys want to do different. Are there some keys tomorrow night against the Bulls, like them specifically?
You know, they're coming off a tough loss against Charlotte. And no team, you know, ever wants to lose like that. And they got a new offense, high-powered offense. You know, they spaced the floor for their guys. You know, Butler and Rose, and Mirotic is playing very well. So we got work cut out for us on the road. You know, we just got to rely on each other.
Started off good, but we just didn't finish 4 quarters of it.
Did you like the looks late in the game?
Yeah, just missed.
All right, guys, bounce back tomorrow against Chicago. What are going to be some keys against those guys?
Come on, ready to play. Both teams coming off losses, we got to be ready to play.
Anybody else for Russell? Thanks, Russ.